I know we talked about earlier setting up that customer boarding profile. So at the register itself, we can be adding in customers and kind of expedite this process of adding new customers, especially if you start getting into loyalty bot where we want to have customers' emails and stuff like that. So let's just run through this real quick. So currently, you should be able to kind of do this already on your POS without really making any changes. But it's not going to be quite what we're going for, but at least just want to show you what you should be able to do at your POS right now. So if you go to the customer search option, we'll see we have this add button. Now, this is the default customer boarding profile, and we can see it's kind of asking a lot of questions. The ID, first name, emails, personal emails, business emails, fax, and phone numbers, and addresses, and all that good stuff. But we want to try to expedite this and make this as fast and clean of a process as possible. So at the moment, you should have this on your register to where you could start using this. But let me just kind of go ahead and show you how we can clean this up a little bit and make it to where we're asking as few questions as possible so we can really just make this a seamless experience. So I'm just going to go ahead and close out of this. And let's get into Web Office. Okay, so from Web Office, where we're going to go is Setup, Profiles, and then Customer Boarding. Okay, so in here, you're probably not going to have anything here, but we're just going to go ahead and create a new one. So I'm going to hit Add. I'm just going to go ahead and call it Lois. Okay, so from here, under this customer information section, this is where we're going to be asking for like the first name, last name, if we want to assign a coupon, if we want to opt them in for loyalty, all that good stuff. So we'll go ahead and hit that. And then this little drop down menu, we can put auto discounts on them. We can ask for their birth dates, stuff like that. So I'm going to start by saying, hey, what's your first name? Make that a requirement. And then we'll also do last name required. We'll ask for their birth date. We won't necessarily make that a requirement, but we will want to at least ask for that. And then from there, loyalty. So we're going to, same thing, not make it required, but we could, just automatically opt them in for loyalty if they're a new customer. See if there's really anything else that we want to get here. For you, possibly the store coupon customer group. So maybe if they're like a senior, then we can go ahead and throw that senior coupon on there. These last three, I'm just not going to make required, just in case for whatever reason this customer didn't want to be a part of loyalty and didn't want to give us their birthday and didn't want to have a coupon on them. Cool. All right. So from there, we'll go into the email options. I feel like most people are going to be giving us their personal email. And just like the other ones, I'm not going to make that required. We definitely want to push for that because as you start getting into the loyalty bot side of things, if we have their email, well, one, we can allow them to use loyalty bot. But, if we go back to this other one where we were looking at like the birth date, if I can get their birth date, then they can be eligible for a certain promotion of, every year we give you 10% off the month of your birthday. Right. So if we can get the birth date in the email, we really want to, but we're not going to require it. And then really for no reason can I think of why you would need somebody's address or phone number for what we've been talking about and discussing, unless you just really want to get a bunch of information on those customers. But with what we're doing with loyalty and dynamic promotions and loyalty bot, I don't see that really being necessary. So I'm just going to leave these blank so that we can just ask as few questions as possible. All right, so let's go ahead and save that. And then now what we have to do is we have to put this on the register. So I'm just going to go to the home page. So setup, this time point of sales. And I'm actually going to go to the terminal itself. So in this case, I'm using terminal 1. So down here in the customer boarding profile section, I'm going to choose that lowest one that we just did. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Okay, so now we should be able to go to our POS and see that new customer boarding profile with just those few questions that we selected a second ago. All right, so we're going to get to it the same way as for right now. I'm going to show you how to make this a button to kind of also clean this up a little bit, but just normal customer search. We'll do a customer add. And this is still showing the old one. Let me make sure I saved. POS1. I'm just going to go ahead and unassociate this terminal and try that again. All right, so this should be POS1. All right, so this is what we're looking for here. So we do have to give some type of customer ID, and this isn't automatically generated. So it can be a little tricky for your cashiers to know what to come up with. I've seen a good convention is somebody's phone number. Right? It's pretty unique to that person, and we don't ever really have to worry about that specific number being used again. There again, if your customer doesn't want to give you their phone number, then any number will work as long as it's unique. All right. So then from there, all we got to do is put in first name, last name, and then technically I could finish right here, but I want to try to get their birth date. Okay. And then we can see I'm opted in for loyalty points. And then if I wanted to add any type of coupon onto my account, I can go ahead and do that here. I can add multiple coupons at once. I can go ahead and close that out. And then we just ask, okay, can we have your email? And we're done. Added our new customer. I'm going to go ahead and associate them with the transaction. And we'll just say I bought some fish. Finalize the transaction. Cool. So kind of that simply, we can create that customer boarding profile. The other thing I was going to make mention of is just making this as its own button, just to kind of get it away from the customer search side. So to do that, I'm going to go to Setup, Profiles, and then Point of Sale, actually. POS, Keypad Maintenance. In my case, mine is called Custom Keypad. So we can see I'm right back to where I was a second ago. And then from there, I'm just going to find some spot. And then we'll just type in customer add. And now when I push that button, it's essentially going to do the customer search, but then it's going to hit that add button that we just saw a second ago. So if you want to make this as its own button, that's kind of how we do that. I can see I have another ticket that I need to get to, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video. But hopefully this is just a good way to scratch the surface of what we were discussing before. All right. Thanks, Lois. Bye.